you salty sailors, time to raise anchor and set sail for your best scrawny life. Arr!
On the 4th of July, I visited the Whiterock Conservancy. These are the areas where I primarily explored, a little bit on the Shooting Star Trail and a little bit on the Long Creek Trail. So really just scratching the surface of the area.
We've got some maidenhair ferns, another type of fern here.
A lot of moss and ferns, but not very many mushrooms.
You can see it's sandy. Yeah, that's one of the fetid russos.
And soil composition matters because the spore released by a mycorrhizal mushroom will not land in the root system of a tree.
Some sort of russula here, some sort of dark colored russula.
It's going to have to exist in the soil as a saprobe for some time.
We're on the Shooting Star Trail. We're on the bluff just above the Middle Raccoon River here. And we've found Aurelia racemosa, the American spikenard. There's a raceme right there, and some blackberries growing next to it. See those swollen nodes? That's kind of characteristic, and the purple stem, kind of characteristic of the plant. The leaves and so forth smell like perfume. Now the botany of this place, we probably won't delve into that too much. Some more maidenhair ferns, a lot of moss.
It has a large pinnately compound leaf of 3, 5, or 7 leaflets. So what I keep calling the node is actually the attachment of the leaf to the stem. Or I think the technical word is petiole or something like that.
We've got Russula parvovirescens here. A lot of American spikenard over there, just on the edge of this cliff. I can see some exposed rock down there too. There's some more Aurelia racemosa. There's the raceme getting ready to flower. Not too many places where you can just walk right up to one beside the trail.
To summarize the point here, a fungal spore, even of a mycorrhizal species, must exist in the soil saprotrophically until the mycelium grows enough to make contact with the root system of a tree. So soil composition matters in those early stages of mycelial development.
Here's a patch of Lactarius Sambicola. I think it's coming down to the nature of this soil. And they've had adequate rain here. Sandier soil, it drains a little faster, dries out a little quicker, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult for a spore to begin to establish a mycelium, and therefore you just have fewer mushrooms. Is this another species of Aurelia?
I'm pretty sure now that this is Aurelia nudicalis, or in other words, wild sarsaparilla. Very rare in the state. I have never seen it before.
Really interesting. No smell. The leaves do not have a smell.
This has not been previously documented on iNaturalist as having been found in Whiterock Conservancy. So what it lacks in fungal diversity, it makes up for in plant biodiversity.
We've got some Cortinarius distans there. some sort of, there it is. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Got Strobelomyces here. There's yeah, she's pretty far gone. I mean, that does tell us we're here at the right time. But it's just not, there's just not that many established fungi here of the mycorrhizal variety. Anyway, oh my goodness, look at this. That's about the biggest old man I've ever seen. We've got an oak here that looks a bit stressed. All right, we've come about 25 miles to the southeast of Whiterock Conservancy. And just as a reference, just to test that theory that it's perhaps the soil, the sandy nature of the soil up there at Whiterock that is keeping the number of mushrooms down, is making it difficult for mycorrhizal species to get established. If I find a lot of mushrooms here, I think that will, you know, it's not far from there. They've had about the same amount of rain and so forth. I think that will indicate that there is, that sandy soil is making it difficult up there for the mushrooms to get established. Good little flush of mushrooms here. Oh, yeah, this is an agaricus, I believe, possibly xanthodermus. We are getting somewhat of a yellow stain on that one, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this is agaricus xanthodermus. There's a big Tylopolis rubrobrunius, Amanita flaviconia, Chanterelles phasmatis, species of Amanita. So you'll see those remnant, those little warts, those little remnants on the cap from the universal veil. The ring around the stem, although sometimes that breaks off, but the ring left over from the partial veil, and that bulb at the base of the mushroom. I think I saw some of these here last year. That could be the Miller. Let me give it a smell. There is a distinct farinaceous smell. There's a black trumpet of some sort. Craterellus. See if we see, there was a spot where there were some lobster mushrooms. Oh, here we are. No sooner than I said the word, there's a lobster mushroom. This is Russula brevipes. That has been parasitized by Hypomyces lactiflorum and distorted. You can see where once there were gills and so forth, but it's otherwise just pretty much completely distorted the shape of the mushroom. Here's a little boletus variepes that hasn't been wiped out yet. We've got some more Russula parvoviruscens here. A large one. Another Calvatia. Here we've got some Chanterelles phasmatis. You'll notice with that white stem and of course the yellow cap. A good flush of chanterelles there. Oh yeah, another flush of chanterelles here. Canthorellus phasmatis. A couple chanterelles over here. But I think we can conclude that the loamier soil here is more conducive to mycorrhizal species becoming established, and the sandier soil up there was presenting an obstacle. I mean, there were still mushrooms there, but just not as many as I'm seeing here. There's a Russula brevipes. There's quite a few of them. A nice flush of chanterelles phasmatis here. These are Amanita mushrooms that have been deformed by Hypomyces hyalinus. Looks like a bolete down here. I think that could be Caloboletus inedulus. Let's take a slice. Oh yeah. Almost immediately a blue stain develops. Dull gray cap. Then right next to it would be Boletus variopes. And of course they look similar. So again, attention to detail is important. Chanterelles. There's Amanita flavoconia again. Here we have one of those Rubroboletus flammeus. This one, I mean, this one you could probably tell is toxic. The cap is red, the stem is red, and even the pore surface underneath there is red. You can see that. There is reticulation on the stem, and of course it will produce a blue stain. These are a quite rare and unusual gilled bolete.
Philoporus rhodoxanthus. That's a pretty cool find. You don't see those often. That's my closer for the end of the video, so we'll see you on the next one.